So what's an example of maybe a habit or a approach to training that you've pulled away from someone else that you learned from, through your travels and everything else that you've been able to implement into your jiu-jitsu training that's been very useful to you?
So let's say, for example, that the mindset of you want to come to train to be a better jiu-jitsu athlete.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to come and train just so you tell yourself, okay, I trained for today.
Mm-hmm.
You really want to come and improve, and you improve in jiu-jitsu by doing jiu-jitsu. So it's a lot of situational and specific sparring. It's something that I think it's really, really important, especially for high-level athletes and for competitors, to really put themselves in specific weak points that they have, and to really dig in that and improve those specific areas. So it's not just about like starting side control and escape. That's a really good example for situational sparring. But if you, for example, let's say you really want to work on your single leg X guard, and you have a pretty good sweeps, but you're not finishing them. Like you always get the position, you get the sweep, but the guys always jumps on top, and you find yourself with an advantage. So put yourself inside the single leg X with the grips that you want, and your goal is just to sweep the other person. And the goal for the person on top is just to stay on top, even not even trying to pass your guard, just to give you resistance. So it's a little bit more of an advanced way of drilling, but then you start to see a lot of different reactions.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no ego involved. Like you tell the guy, like your goal, the guy on top, you win if you just stay on top. That's
Right.
it. That's the only thing you need to do. Don't even submit that guy. Just break the grips, start to stall the fight. And the guys on the bottom, you get your grips, you get whatever you need, but just finish your sweep.
Mm-hmm.
If finishing the sweep is your problem, if your problem is not getting the single leg X, you're not getting into the position, then start putting yourself in different guards. And your goal is just to enter the single leg X.
Mm-hmm.
And the goal of your partner is just to try to avoid getting into the single leg X. And then you can go back to the drawing board, start drilling a little bit more of entries for the specific guard, and then put yourself again in the guard. Start to get the guard again. And if you're getting good at putting people in the single leg X, then move to finishing the sweeps. And then you perfect each part of the move, from the entry to the position to the finishing mechanic. So you have no holes in the game.
Mm-hmm.
That's some form of training that I really like to do.
How early would you implement something like that if you're trying to incorporate a new technique, a new position, or even a submission into your game? How much time are you going to give yourself before you feel like, and when do you know that you feel that it's ready to be put in competition?
Well, the first phase of learning a new technique is, seeing the new technique, the first time learning it, just drilling it for the first time. The first part, the second part that I think is when you learn the new technique already, after you felt it, is drilling it with a little bit more of movement. It's still a drilling, it's still methodical drilling, but you add a little bit more movement, and maybe you connect to another technique after this, for example, for the new sweep that you learn, and then start doing it on sparring. First of all, start, if, for example, if you learn the new sweep from the single leg X, start to do it on sparring. If you feel, and then you can review and improve in like a cycle. So you do it in sparring, you feel like you don't get the one leg X, you don't enter enough to the one leg X, then start drilling entries for the guard. If you do manage to enter the guard and you almost finish the sweep, then you need to move into specific sparring. Put yourself inside the guard, inside the position, and just finish the sweep. After you feel like it works for you in training, after you try it again in sparring and you manage successfully to enter the guard, finish the sweep, do the sweep and finish the sweep, then I will do it in competition as well. In a moment of stress, you really feel like you have limited amount of technique, so you really want to do it like fast. If I ask you to do a technique and it's going to get you like more than 3 seconds to tell me which is your best move from a De La Riva guard, then you need to work on your De La Riva sweeps, because you're not feel comfortable enough to do that.
Yeah.